Hi everyone, let's add the flowers to your wedding bouquet and put it all together. So as you can see, what I did here was I started with these flowers, this one on the top and these on the outside. And when I arrange flowers or stick them on anything, I always go opposite. So if I do one here, I always do one opposite this side and try to mirror it all the way around. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to put the lace in between. So what I do is I just kind of fold it over and then fold it over again like this and work out how long I want it by pushing it in between like this, in between my flowers. So that should be about right for that. And if it's too long, you can actually glue it down a little bit more. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take my lace and I'm going to just put the glue where the material of the lace is. So if it's too thin a lace, you might actually end up seeing the glue. So you only want a little tiny bit of glue, okay, just so you can glue that together. So if you can see what I mean, just where that thicker piece of the lace is, glue it down like that. Mind your fingers, okay. Try and do it like that and low down so you don't notice it, okay. So then once that's dry, then what you want to do is just push your lace in between your flowers like that, okay, just like that. So you can have a single piece or a double. I've done a double piece here and a single piece there, but it really doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want, okay. But at the moment I'm just going to put this lace in between the small gaps of the flowers and see how that looks, okay. So yeah, so I'm going to go away and do that and then come back and show you how that works. And I've added some little frames on, and these little frames, I'll tell you about these. In these frames here, what I've done is I've just put some little pictures and things in, but what you can actually do is you can actually add little photos in there for memories and things like that. And you can just, you know, do your own shape and size for your frames, okay. These are pieces of felt, so these are made of felt and decorated with lace. So the top's going to be your frame and the back is going to be your back, obviously. So we're going to take our two pieces, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut a hole in the one you want as a frame, okay. So just basically just cut a slit there and then a slit like that, and then what I do is I just guess where I want the edge of that frame to be, okay, and I just cut like this, cut round. You can do a template if you want, but I just find it's just easier for me to do it this way, okay. So just cut around like this, like that, and there's your frame, okay, and that will go on top of this other bit that you've cut out, okay. So then I've got some lace here which I've been cutting for the edge of the frame. Now my advice with this lace, I can't even remember where I got this from, but what I actually been doing with this lace is I've been using the pattern as a guideline as to where to cut it. So you only need quite a thin bit, okay. So I'm just going to cut it like this, okay. Probably thinner than that even, because you want to be able to wrap it around your frame and stick it on, okay. So you can see where this piece is, there's that piece in the middle. I'm going to cut that there, just in between there, okay. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to wrap that round and stick that on. So work out which bit you want, which part of your frame you want for the back and the front. Let's move this in a bit, tiny bit like that. So we're going to just, and then you just stick part of that onto the back of your frame. Now be careful because your glue's going to be hot. I would say just put your glue gun on, okay, and then turn it off when it's heated up, okay, because you don't want to burn your fingers, because you can do this when the glue's warm. It doesn't have to be hot, okay. So just glue it on like that, and then just bring your lace round and then just stick it like this, okay. That's all that you're doing all the way around. So we'll do the next bit, we'll do the same with the next piece. So we're going to put some glue just like this, put the, there we go, put your lace on like that. Okay, now so we've added that on there, that lace on there. So next what you want to do is work out what part of your paper or your photo that you want to stick on and cut it out to size. So what I recommend you do if you're not used to doing this is just basically say, well, you might want a bit of writing or a bit of flowers there, and just basically take your scissors and cut around the back of your frame, okay. Just cut around the back of your frame, hold that where you want it and just cut around it, and that way you'll know it's going to be the right size and shape for your frame, okay. Okay, so if you want a bit of writing, and you could just cut it in a little bit, just a tiny bit, because you don't want to see the edge of it, okay. Just cut it in a little tiny bit like that. So then what we do is we just add our picture to the back of our frame like this, okay. And then what I do just to line it up is I just put it on the back of my frame like this, okay. Let's move that over a bit, and just put the glue on the top. You don't want to see the glue, okay, so you've got to make it really thin on top there, okay. And then just add it. You could actually add it to the frame rather than the edge of the frame, but I find it's a little bit fiddly doing it that way, like that, okay. And then just stick that down like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to put a little piece of glue on one side of the flower and on the other like that, where you can't see it, and just add these frames on. You don't want to see this glue if you can help it, okay, because obviously you don't want to see that on your bouquet. There we are. So just adding those on where you want them. So this one, so you can have little pictures of your flowers, your family, or your little memories of you and your fiance together, or even just people that you love, okay. So stick those on where you want those to be. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to move that up slightly. We're going to have the lace this way up, and hopefully it won't mark the handle if I just put some glue on like this. Just put a tiny piece on, because if your handle's black and you mark the ribbon, you're going to see it, okay. So be very careful with this bit. As you can see, I'm putting it onto the thickness, onto the piece of lace that's the thicker part, so you can't see the glue, okay. So I'm just going to wrap that round. This is the first time I've done this. I'm going to you could actually stick it to the same glue that you've put on there. So I'm going to just glue that together like that. Okay, I might actually, if I can just cut that so it's straight, then what we can do is just glue that piece in like that. Okay, make sure these bits aren't loose here along the edge here. Yeah, this is where you have to be sparing with your glue, because you don't want it everywhere, all over your bouquet handle and everything. So there we are. So that is the bottom of your bouquet handle. Okay, so now what you want to do is add this to your bouquet. So what I'm going to do here, first of all, is to add my bouquet handle in there. Okay, so you just want to put some glue around the outside of your bouquet handle. Okay, lots of glue on there. Okay, and then push that into your bouquet like this. Okay, and then what you want to do is just pull this over your handle. Okay, and I like to twist it round, see whether it's in the right place or not before I stick it down. Make sure there's nothing showing that I don't want showing. Okay, see how that is when you hold it up. Okay, and then what I do is just glue it. Just glue. Oh, that's it. Just try and concentrate on the middle, actually, if you can, because you'll do the edge bit afterwards. Okay, and just glue that down. Okay, just make sure you've got it all round the middle part. Okay, and then lift up the edge and just do round the edge. Okay. Make sure all that's neat and tidy around the edge there, and that you can't lift this up here around the edge here. So if you take it round, there's no you can't lift that up. Okay, that's it, just glue. Make sure your handle's in before you put this on, okay, because you don't want it to come undone and then you'll have to take it all apart again. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is your bouquet. Okay, so that is how it looks. I think I'm really quite pleased with that. Look how lovely that is. Okay, so now we've finished this bouquet, and I think it's so pretty. I love the way that combination of the back and everything and the lace on the handle really works together. I really love it. There's some improvements, but I really do love this. Okay, so yeah, now we've done this, I'm going to show you a little sneaky peek of the next project. So let me show you this. So what we're going to be doing is something like this. So we've got some little flowers and some little butterflies. So this is sort of the way we're going to be going with the next project. So yeah, so stay tuned, and I'll have the next project on here soon. Okay, so take care everybody, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you can like it, or you can comment below. Also, you can subscribe to this channel, which really helps it to grow. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye now.